If you want to watch a young, well, a 50-year-old Gene Simmons at the height of his arrogance, talk about one of his kinky hotel encounters, let me hear you say, yeah, 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 say yeah, oh yeah. We're going to get into it. He's on some kind of a late night show. I want to say it's Ross Shafer's show or something like the Shafer Show. It is just about as vanilla and plastic as you could ever remember late night television being if you're as old as I am. You've got the skyline. You got to have that nighttime city skyline behind you. A bunch of people sitting on a couch. Of course, if you know Johnny Carson, you know this would be the Johnny character. This would be the Ed character. I haven't watched this whole thing, so it's going to be interesting what happens here. You know, Gene Simmons, 50 years old. He's got a bit of rouge on the cheeks, nice white jacket. Of course, you know Miami Vice is popping at the time, so he's going, I got to have my Vice stuff on. This guy's like the Ed, he's like the insulting Ed McMahon. You know, if you ever watch Johnny Carson, Johnny would say something and Ed would just go, oh God, that's funny. You're the greatest. This guy, like, when they got this show going, they said, you've got to be kind of an insulter to this guy. So we'll get into it, and then this guy's going to launch into him before they invite Gene out. Another point that I'll make before we get into this thing, and I'm sure someone's already going, God damn it, is that Paul Stanley is also there. Now, if you know anything about those late night talk shows, you know the first guest comes out, yeah, well, fucking good one, you see you, toodaloo. It's about the next guest. It's about the second guest. And if it's a comedian, who gives a shit? They get the last 2 minutes of the show. But if it's a band performance of some sort, then it gets a little bit more praise. But it's the second guest slot. So what I find interesting in this video is that Paul Stanley will be the second guest. He's not going to go out and sit with Gene Simmons for the first segment. Let's do it. We stop it. We start it. We take a look. I mean, why couldn't he have that hair? That's styled right up, right? I love these old TV shows. I mean, I can't get enough of them.
About Life in the Fast Lane with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Now they've already...
Bausch & Lomb creates the miracle solution.
Bausch & Lomb, yeah.
Saturday at 10 on your Hot Summer Fun Station.
Werewolf.
WSYT.
I could watch that kind of shit all day and all night. Just gonna kick on. There we go. Bad Boys of Rock.
Talking about women, music, and money. Tonight, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
And money.
Television interview. Plus,
what did he say? Oh, what's this guy? Is this guy... So he's not the Ed McMahon?
Renegade umpire blows the lid off the All-Star game. And does your love life sizzle? Take the Late Show sex test with Dr. Joyce.
Rock and roll was basically music made by people
who were thinking with their crotches. Is this kind of a sex one? Ross Shafer. This is some kind of a sex late night show. So what do we need on here? We need sex. Sex sells. You always got to have the shot of the guy coming out. The trumpet. And him walking backstage like, oh, what are you guys doing here? I got to go do the show. Shit.
Has a very large show tonight. I'm going to tell you, we have two of the most outrageous men of rock and roll on the show. Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are tonight. And a baseball umpire with an opinion on everything. We have a woman who gives advice.
Do I remember this umpire? Because he's going to come out any second now and start ripping this guy a new one.
If you put that all together, we have
was he the insult umpire?
And it will happen right after this commercial break, so please stick around, will you?
Oh, yeah. You always get the shot of the audience, and this guy, he ain't having it. This guy right here. I don't give a shit about your show.
The Late Show is brought to you by Renew.
Dr. Joyce.
Oh, good. We can talk about sex?
Okay, there he is.
Hey, listen, I saw your dressing room back there. You want to talk about porno? Right here, right?
He says, hey, you know, I like to dabble in a little bit, even though he's got a wedding ring on. He says, I like it.
I mean, but wait a minute. I want to know why all the guys.
Would you just drink your water?
Oh,
Now the truth.
he says, don't you, you got a bunch of fucking guys on the wall in there. So what? What if he's into weightlifting? What if he's got cutouts of the men that are all built into weightlifting? You know, if you're a kid of the 80s, then you were into wrestling, and if you were into wrestling, you were into big beefy guys. You know, I had a stack of them muscle magazines. It wasn't because I was looking at them as a sexual treat. It was because I was looking at them as one day I'm going to get beefed up. I'm going to have big muscles and be a wrestler. You know, and then your mother's boyfriend's going, what the fuck's he going on with the fucking beef books over there? He's got a bunch of goddamn tough guy books with the old fucking underpants.
One wall anyway. What? One wall in. All guys on one
I would
wall.
like
I don't understand.
Get a bat out of the bat rack over there. Just a little bit. We're going to take a break.
You're letting me out. My wife doesn't know about any of this. Will you?
This, folks.
Coming up next.
Hey, you ding dong coming after me.
Rockers from Kiss, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
Yeah, they don't come out together. Interesting. Where's it, St. Louis? He says, we got to have some kind of sexy music playing for when old Gene Simmons, the Sex Pot, comes out. Another thing that I'll mention is, in this interview, he roughly says that I heard rumors you've slept with 1,500 women. Now, in his book, he says 4,800, but it has been another 30 years since that time. We got to get the cameras back into shape, get them back into shot. Say, Mr. Simmons, you've got 1 minute till curtain time. 1 minute till curtain time, Mr. Simmons. And we get that. Who's this? Sonny finds Cher's replacement?
We're back with the Late Show.
They're making a silly there.
This is all kind of exciting for us because my next guest rarely appears on television.
Bullshit. Is that true? Before 1988, Gene Simmons was kind of shy of cameras.
Here's a man who's recorded 21 albums with the band Kiss, has sold 70 million records. And you would think that a guy like that would want to slow down a little bit after 15 years of being at the top of rock and roll.
Not Gene.
But he doesn't. Here's what he has to say about people who do.
Anybody that sits on top of his palace after you've worked, all your life.
Well, that's from Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. And they wanted to do an interview with him, and he said, well, if you're going to do an interview with me, it needs to be in a sexy Victoria's Secret shop.
Get it and says, it's lonely at the top. It's just miserable. They're full of it. It's the best.
All right, here he is, Gene Simmons.
He almost said Jane Cinnamons. Hand in pocket. Hello? Does the jacket look weird on him? It's not fit right. Fixes his tie like that. Now, he's got a lot of rouge on them cheeks. So in one of these pockets, he's got one of them bronzers. There you are, Gene.
There you go.
That is a great band. Everybody.
And they always got to say that, too. That Johnny, I've said it 1,000 goddamn times. You've got Doc Severinsen over there. You guys got the greatest goddamn band over there.
You should know that.
Isn't that a nice band?
They wail. That's the Allman Brothers.
We're very happy to have you because I know you don't appear on television very much.
That's true.
Yeah.
Except for Oprah.
I just think the size of it bothers me. I mean, if you guys were doing a TV show and it was in a movie theater, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because then I could fit.
Fucking Gene. I mean, he's just so smarmy, though, isn't he? In a kind of a Gene kind of way. He's like, I'm a smarmy son of a...
Because you like it big, don't you?
I do. Everything should be big. I mean, nothing.
You like him big.
Everything should be too much food and too much good times and too many pretty girls.
That's wasteful, Gene.
Now, I want to know about this, the quote that we had of you, people who kind of sit on their duffs when they get to the top. You aren't like that. Now, are you a driven man, do you think?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's probably something wrong with every entertainer that gets up on stage. There's probably a loose screw someplace in me, and
Well, he's good with the. Well, I like the big and screw and loose screw and bang and everything every little. It's kind of one of those innuendos. Everything he says, big enough, more this and that and screw and bang and bang and.
I mean, I think it's really important.
Is he letting his hair out?
Their dreams. Mine are really not limited to small stuff. I don't just want to stand on a street corner with a raincoat and say, "Hey, lady, look." That's not enough. There's just no thrill like getting up in front of an audience and having them love you and then wanting all the beautiful women. It's the same stuff that you got.
Oh, Gene, since you've mentioned that, we have got to talk about that. I've heard.
Bringing up beautiful women. Gene, you have.
He licks his lip there.
Legendary in that there's this rumor going around that Gene Simmons has been with 3,000 women.
You're going to believe all that stuff?
Well, that's
3,000.
Is that true? Because even if it's half true, if it's half true, we want to make a statue.
See, the truth is, of what?
And old Dad here, I got a half a hard one now, boy. Tell me something good, dude. Tell me something.
3,000 women. Yeah, well.
It puts a smile on Gene's face. He loves it.
The truth is that a long time ago, 15 years ago, we've been touring and recording for 15 years. And a long time ago, I decided instead of banging my head against the wall at nights, I'd do something constructive. So I took up photography.
Mm-hmm.
The indoor sport variety. I don't do any outdoor sports, I'm sorry.
No, he says.
What's he's gonna say? Indoor sport. This guy's got guys all over his wall in there. He's got a bunch of guys on the wall in there.
So,
Will you stop with this? He's making this whole thing up. Now you have photos. You have.
well, I mean, that was my way of keeping.
He's got photos of the naked ladies.
Got to channel all that, energy and.
But you're talking about photos of women?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Friends, preferably instead of enemies. And I think, at some point, none of us are going to stay young. Whatever. At some point, all this stuff is going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to look back and say, yeah, that's where I was in 1974, and that's where I was in 75. And that's.
But when you open yourself up, I would think for some really bizarre incident. Does anything stick out in your mind of a groupie or anything that?
Now, when you're coming on our show, you better have a good one. He's got a good one.
Oh yeah, every night of the week. In fact, twice a night, crazy things would happen. In fact, I remember once in Indianapolis, a beautiful girl came to the door. It was late at night. I had to get up the next morning for 6 a.m.
Busy man.
I had to get up at 6 a.m. to catch a 9 o'clock flight on this.
Red eye.
I looked through the people. There's a beautiful girl over there. I'm saying, okay, I guess I won't sleep tonight. Come on in, sweetheart. What's your name?
Come on in, sweetheart. What's your name, sweetheart? Come on in. I just checked into my hotel. I just wanted to get some Z's. I got that. Look through the peephole. Come on in, sweetheart.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Shut up and let's read a book.
Anyway, it doesn't matter? Yeah, what did he say? He said something.
Of a groupie or anything that happened to come backstage that turned too weird for you? Or
Sorry,
every
a little
night,
too far
every
back.
night of the week. In fact, twice a night, crazy things would happen. In fact, I remember once in Indianapolis, a beautiful girl came to the door. It was late at
I
night.
bet Paul's just backstage going.
I had to get up at 6 a.m. to catch a 9 o'clock flight on this. Knock on the door. I looked through the people.
Beautiful girl.
Girl over there. I'm saying, okay, I guess I won't sleep tonight.
Not gonna sleep.
Come on in, sweetheart. What's your name? It doesn't matter. Shut up and let's read a book.
Let's read a book together. The Kama Sutra.
Anyway, to make a long story short, I know you want to get to the dirt. Don't skip the stuff. Yeah, I know. Let's just. She comes in and we become fast friends. I don't remember her name. It didn't really matter. And she after.
I don't know. I don't really. So what you're trying to tell me, Gene, is you took the time to photographize them, but you didn't even jot down a name? I'm calling lies. I'm calling lies on this man right here, because what he's trying to say to us is that he's got 4,800 photos of different women that he's been with, but he didn't jot a name down. And this story he's about to tell is a fib. And the reason why is because if this happened, he would absolutely remember her name. I can tell you that.
After we got through swapping spit, we discussed the very social significance of the panel graphic art form, and then she said, and then I tell her, look, I've got to get up tomorrow morning.
He said that line 1,000 times.
I'll see you next year. She says, before I go, can I do something for you. I'm going, great, this is going to be a show. So I prop myself up in bed, going, great, it's going to be a show. So she gets
Gene, how did you do that with your jacket if you're naked? All the lies are coming together. I'm starting to see lies.
naked, of course. Beautiful girl. With one of those slave bracelets on. She takes her little valise, gets in front of the bed, unfolds it, takes out this beautiful Persian carpet that she rolls up.
She brought a Persian carpet?
Well, you know, like one of those mini kind, the kind that you sweep your, you know.
How did you not see that in when you said, "Come on in, toots, come on in through the door"? What you doing with the big bag in your arms?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
one of those little baby ones. And she takes it and opens up the thing, gets little candles and, you know, lights them and stuff. I'm going, great, she's going to do like a little belly dance because she's naked in front
It's
of the bed.
fibs, it's lies.
No, she all of a sudden goes into this dark stuff. You are my master, tell me what to do. And I'm going, oh my God.
Tell me what to do.
You don't remember. You mean to tell me you don't remember the lady's name that comes to the door, pulls out a Siberian tiger rug, lights up candles, gets down on the ground and tells you, "You're my master, tell me what to do"? You can't remember her name, Gene? And this would have only happened in the 15 years that you've been doing it. Because you've only been rocking at this time. By this time, you'd only been rocking about 15 years. So in 15 years' time, a lady with a Persian rug that's practicing probably witchcraft or something like that shows up, unravels it, lights the candles, down on her knees, begging you to be her the master. And you don't remember that name? That's a lie.
Yeah, baby, look.
Sorry.
I got to get out of here. And she says, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. I go, well, look, just...
Nope. He's lying. He's making up a fib, guys. I didn't even realize this until we started filming this video. And now I am not a lie detector analyst, but I can tell you right now, he is making a fib up about this whole story.
She said, no, once I leave, what should I do? I said, go up to 2311. The road crew is up there, and become friends with them. The next day, I don't know what happened to her, but the next day the road crew came up and said, hey man, can I get you a glass of water? Is that
He says, "You're kidding me." So after this young gal laid out a Siberian tiger rug, obviously adores you deeply. You've snapped a couple of photos of her. She lights up the candles. She gets down on the ground and begs you, "Master, oh master, what shall I do?" He says, "Go up to the second floor and service all of the road crew." And he says, "You dang dog." Fibs and lies.
I guess she became friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I guess she became friends with everybody. Look in those eyes. That is a guy that says, "I just told you the wildest bullshit story." And Paul's backstage going, "It's bullshit. Never happened. It never happened." What say you? I think we might hold off and do a part 2. We'll get to Paul Stanley's portion because I'd love to find out if he says, "It's all bullshit." Ross, I'm telling you right now, that was all bullshit. Get down there, tell me what you think. Is Gene Simmons a dang liar? That's what I'm calling this video. Gene Simmons is a dang liar about his lovers. Swinging out, loving you so much. I wanna rock and roll all night and part of every day.